Recording. Getting it. Thank you. I do.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our December meeting. We have made it a year. So 3 cheers for everybody who's here. We are going to go ahead and start. I want to note 2 things. First, we have flipped our agenda around. Barry has to leave a little bit early, and so we are going to do a portion of the open session and then go into closed session. And then if you all will hang around a little bit, we will go back into open session and do committee reports and new business, old business, that sort of thing. So I want everyone anyone who's listening to know that. And the second thing is we need a note taker. Would anyone be willing to take notes and translate them into minutes? I will do it. But you are exempt.
I know, but
I'll do it. All right, just be very brief.
I operate off of the video very heavily. I don't really
I
take
know,
notes
but
during session, because I have to focus on the session.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay,
You sure you're okay with that?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you, Tim. Daryl, would you call the roll, please?
Daryl Burkhart, I'm here. Janine LaPrade. I'm absent. Mary Beth.
Here.
Lisa Pappas. Absent. David Reed.
Here.
And Tim Redmond.
Here.
And Liz Weisman.
Here.
And then also Barry and Chris are here.
Did everyone have a chance to look at our agenda? Does anyone want to make any changes? If so, tell me what they are, and if not, if I can have a motion and a support to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Support.
And David. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Agenda is approved. Minutes. Did you all have a chance to look at the minutes from last time? Any corrections, any changes?
Yeah, I have no questions with
And
minutes.
if there are no changes, if they are correct,
Wait a minute. Did you say you
I
had?
said no question.
Oh, no questions. Okay.
I'll move the minutes. That's-
David?
I second.
Minutes, and Daryl? All in favor
Aye.
of the minutes,
Aye.
opposed? The minutes are approved. Now, time for public comments, and we'll start with you all who are here. So, anyone who would like to come on up and do a public comment, please come.
Well, okay, Dave Lutton, Baker, Roadland Holdings, a Scio resident. I had a call from Barry saying you had some discussion and questions, and we've come prepared to answer those questions today. Tom Covert from Midwestern Consulting is here with me, and we can do that now or later, but this is comment time, so you don't want to do it now, do you?
Well, we have 2 public comment sessions, each one, people can talk for 3 minutes each. And so that's not a lot of time. I think the thing to do would be to put the question and answer period on the agenda for next month, because we don't have that on today.
I misunderstood. I thought it would be on today's.
Oh, we were not informed of that.
Okay.
If you would like to, well, I mean, what we could, I suppose, if you want to wait around, we could put that into new business, or we can go ahead and it's old business, actually.
I'd be happy to wait around.
What do you all think, though? I mean,
I'm wondering who
I did not,
told?
who did you, yeah.
Well, we do have questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering if normally we don't discuss properties in open session.
That's true.
Maybe if in closed session, we can address it briefly and then have you exit the closed session. Would that be acceptable?
Take it.
I don't know what.
Okay.
I don't know
We
what,
would normally have something like this on the agenda, and we would probably get questions to Mr. Letton ahead of time so that he could respond to.
And I did tell him that the questions were from our last meeting. And we don't have to go into closed session to discuss properties. We choose to do that. You can choose not to do that. I don't know whether, I know that I've been invited into closed sessions, and the Board of Trustees and other meetings like that. I don't know if you're allowed to invite other people into the closed session that aren't township
I see.
consultants or
Okay.
employees or whatever.
Well, the reason it's in closed session is to protect landowner.
Correct. So if the landowner's here,
Is here,
Well,
gives permission, I think.
I suspect that this is partly a subject we'll be discussing in closed session, and therefore I think it's appropriate to go ahead and address the questions now, if we can keep it to a limited time, if we're concerned about Barry being able to leave.
Like now, right now? Okay, well, we
Would
can
that be
do,
all right?
I mean, it's all right with me. We do have to keep it to a limited time because Barry has to leave early.
Okay,
Can we do it in our normal open session that comes after, today comes after closed session, so Barry can leave?
Yeah, I mean,
although I think the questions may be pertinent to the closed session discussion. Therefore, probably asking at least some questions initially would be okay.
that is fine with me. Let's give it, can we give it, what, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that?
Yeah.
And I would just open the floor to any of you who have questions, Mr. Letton, or tell me your name again, sir.
Over with Midwestern
Okay.
Consulting.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what's the company?
Midwestern Consulting. It's who you use, Dave, to survey the property. So
Tom, I call him my chief engineer. He's involved in all the aspects of
Okay.
Sloan Kingsley property.
Do we ask
So the
questions?
two things that I mentioned to Dave were on the west side, there was, as we know, the arsenic contamination that was discovered a long time ago. This is the thing that we didn't get to at the last meeting was scoring the discretionary points, and so that was one of them. And on the east side was access to the property for public use.
Mhm. Right. So those are the two major questions. If you could address those two issues, that would be helpful.
I apologize for this confusion. I had called Barry, he returned my call and wasn't fair. That's the agenda. Relevant to arsenic, we have brought some materials. Tom, do you want to pass those packets out? If you
it's them to speak up.
turn to the fourth page of the founding.
Could you speak up?
Microphone
We
doesn't seem to be
can't.
working, so can you please speak up?
Do you have an extra copy?
Yes.
Can I have one, please? For Murphy.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
yeah.
Welcome.
I believe, relative to arsenic, on the west side of Baker Road. If you turn to page 4 of the handout, that's probably the best illustration. Tom can speak to this probably with more detail than I, but, we did a total arsenic study of our own, in the past 12, 18 months. additionally, our engineer found in his research on the history of the property, studies done by Adwell Hicks, I believe, for the township in 2010, also showing arsenic locations. The graphic here shows that, and of interest to us as we got deep into this was the fact that some of the high level arsenic readings in the test holes from the arsenic study by Atwell Higgs show up in your existing Sloan Preserve. I think the intention was when you bought the land you bought for the Sloan Preserve was to avoid the arsenic and keep it confined to the remainder property, which I now own.
Is that so? Sorry.
That was the intent, yeah, of drawing the boundaries as they were drawn, is to
Yeah.
eliminate that.
We believe some of the arsenic on the property is over the line into the existing Sloan Preserve. And we shared that information in a meeting with David Reed, Kathy Knoll, and Mariah Fink, the attorney for the township, back 2 or 3 months ago now. I don't recall the exact date of it. This area is also where much of the arsenic readings exceed the residential limit, is also the area where we did, and I think you've heard me reference it, the junk removal, the junkyard from the farmer Sloan previously. We hauled out 220 yards of material basically in this arsenic area. And so we've done that cleanup, and that's the certificate, Liz, that I gave you at the last meeting.
Dave, pardon me for interrupting, was the 220 yards, did that include soil? Or what, is that what it was,
No.
or is?
No, that was trash, old machinery, more trash.
Yeah.
So forth. It was not soil excavation. We did the, I'm blanking on the phrase, but where you control the erosion, the fencing around it, and we were required to replant it with grass, and that's done nicely and coming on strong in that area. So we've got some arsenic. We believe the Sloan Preserve has arsenic as well, and that's what we reported 2 or 3 months ago. Our recommendation is, because it's going to be used as a preserve, leave it lie right around trails elsewhere. And I've suggested it need be put up signage about it, but I don't really believe that would be necessary. So those are my remarks on arsenic. Tom, would you add anything?
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk through the graphics just real quick, page by page. So the first page is a graphic which I think some here may be familiar with. It just shows the pieces of what we call the Lutton Sloan Kingsley farm property, depicting the potential preservation areas, the many hands life share community, and the annexation property in orange to the right. The next sheet is a graphic that comes from the report, and the cover of the report image put on the bottom right, as Dave indicated, was from a 2010 report that was put together for the township. The next graphic is a graphic from the HAT Fearless arsenic report and study that was put together here in 2025 in September, which was one of the things we discussed at the meeting Dave referenced earlier. The next 2 pages are just overlays of the 2 graphics, one over the other, depending. The third graphic is a graphic which depicts a conceptual site layout sketch that we had been contemplating for the annexation property in the city of Dexter. And this addresses the second question that I think has to do with some access and trails. And I'll talk about in a second. The next page are two sheets that are excerpts from the approved preliminary PUD site plan for the Many Hands Life Share Community. And I'll start with these two pages. The first is over view of the entire property, and the second page is a blow up of that north area. And what that depicts here with regard to access to property, and for a trailhead is a parking area, an access drive, and a trail network that could be connected into a trail network that may be contemplated on the property, the preserved property. And that's depicted on both sheets here, a trailhead, parking area, and trailhead. Anticipated that with access here, you will be able to drive a vehicle or maintenance equipment and so on the property to get back to the area of land that Dave has on the first graphic that I think the LPC is concerned with. And then if you back up the page to the concept sketch, we think that there's an opportunity, and again, this is a concept. I've been involved with this property for many years, I think over 14 years in one form or another. This is a concept, it's not the plan, it's just a concept. And to show how there could be interconnectivity from this parcel, this 45 acres, to the preserved parcel through paths, connections and so on.
And this parcel lies just to the south of, after crossing the existing neighborhood. So in addition to this concept plan includes 119 units. I believe the number in extra crossing, but I'm condominium, single family homes, probably in the 250 area, and all of those residents would also have easy access through this new development to trail connections, walking paths from our property leading into what would be your preserved property.
And I'm anticipating then that this would give the access, obviously Many Hands would be a western access point, and then this would be eastern access point through this annexation first.
Many Hands has been mentioned several times here. When their site plan came into existence, and included a 10 space parking lot, which is pretty similar to what you've done on your preserves and what the county, among the county program, what the county does with its preserves for parking. We felt that was adequate, and I have assurances from the Many Hands people that they will cooperate on a legal basis. Easements or other things are needed to be developed. They are all for their parking lot being used for access to future Scio trails. Looking at you,
Oh, no, assurances sound great, but
I have a quick question. If I can go back to the arsenic page. And I can't read this very well, but I assume that these sort of starred points show arsenic locations. Is that correct? Am I understanding this correctly? I mean,
Yeah, I can.
We can turn it,
oh, okay,
go to the first page.
so.
So I'm gonna have you go to the second page,
Second page. Okay,
which is the,
is there a,
and I believe what you're
oh,
referring
I
to.
see, yeah,
is-
because I can't read it. Sorry, okay.
Very small.
And so you have different, could you just very briefly, you've got, it looks like they're labeled as AB-6 and SED-E, which unfortunately to me, I don't know what that means.
It's a soil boring. It's a sample location.
They're different, yes, exactly. Different sample locations, the findings for each of those samples and the methodology for that would be in the report.
Okay, so how do we know based on this, so this is just showing all the sampling, it's not showing the reading. Exactly.
This does not show the reading for the samplings. What it does is identifies an area that they had approximated the extent of arsenic in the soil.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful. All right, thank you.
You referenced the report.
The Atwell 2010 report.
Okay, do we have a copy of that?
You do.
Okay.
Okay.
And either I missed something or it's not on here, but are all these marks where the samples were taken of equal concentration of arsenic? I don't know.
Yep, so it's been a long time since I've seen the Atwell report. I wanna be clear, I'm not with AKT. I did not do the environmental study. I am familiar with these reports. They were not equal in the amount of arsenic in each of the locations that were sampled. Some of the samples are soil boring, some of them are sediment samples, and some of them are temporary monitoring wells that were set. So they studied the soil and the groundwater. And in that report from 2010, there is detailed information regarding the samples and how they tested it.
And that's what you just asked for?
I'm sorry?
Did you just ask for that?
I had, we had it, and he says we do, so we just have to figure out where it is.
The
Larry, do you know where that
earlier-
report is?
Yeah,
So-
Murphy has it.
Okay, Murphy. you
Yeah.
have it.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, fine,
Okay.
fine.
This is helpful, but I think we're good.
What is the timing of the Many Hands Trailhead?
Yep, many
The
hands.
timing of the Many Hands Trailhead, when will that be completed?
So Many Hands is currently in the process of developing their final PUD for submittal for site plan consideration. That trailhead is in a future phase. It's not in the phase one. It's in a future phase, I can say that, based on the plans we're developing and what had been approved with the township for the preliminary PUD.
So do you know how many phases there are and what future phase we're talking about?
It's part of phase two, and there are 5 phases.
5 phases, and so phase 1 includes building out the property with the residents and all that sort of thing?
Phase one includes on the south side of the property, access to resident homes and a craft studio and a parking lot.
Okay. And are they fundraising for phase 1 right now?
They've been fundraising for a bit now and have raised funds.
I can report that they had good success with their funding.
Okay.
If I may, just want to be clear. The green portion of this map on the west side or the east side is the proposed Scio Township land preservation, and as I can read it, there is no direct contact for the proposed land preservation parcel with Baker Road. Is that correct?
Right, the access off Baker Road would be to this future parking lot on the Many Hands.
Want to make
For
sure.
the eastern parcels, the 2 green parcels, I believe, we're considering one on the west and one on the east.
I'm talking about the one
And
on
the
the
one
east.
on the east does not have frontage.
The concept plan for Dexter, who did this? This is not a developer's plan, correct? For this property. It's not gonna look like this, you said, or
Right. The
is
concept,
this the way it will look is my question, I guess.
well, as Tom said, it's a concept plan. We have not submitted for site plan approval. We prepared that concept plan, his engineering firm. And we expect to be in site plan approval sometime next year. And the plan undoubtedly will evolve. No plan is unchanged when it comes out the other end of the site plan approval process. But this is our best thinking up to now, having listened to a variety of concerned people. And again, the overriding issue for me is to deliver some moderately priced market rate housing to the greater Western Washtenaw community. We have a terrific shortage. At the end, last time I looked at the numbers was the end of 2023. The average sale price in the Dexter School District was $557,000. We're trying to bring housing between $375 and $425, $440, somewhere in there. This plan is all ranch units. There's a shortage in the marketplace. And for those of you who don't know, I was
47 years with the Reinhardt Company. I owned the company for 20 years. I have a pretty good understanding of the housing market, and this is my attempt to bring moderately priced housing to Western Washtenaw, where not much is being developed. So this is our best thinking right now. Liz, back to your question. Will the plan change? Probably some as we go through a site plan approval process.
And so who's the developer that's going to be developing this? Do we know?
Building the units,
Just developing that 40 acres.
well, I'm the developer.
Oh, you are.
My intent is not to be the builder of the units. When we get a fully entitled project from Dexter, my plan is to sell it to one of the large builders, and they will do the build out and the sale of new homes.
And there will be access. How will we know that there's guaranteed access from this parcel?
Well, it'll be part of an approved site plan, and that my buyer, whoever that builder is, will have to work with that approved site plan.
Okay. So once the site plan is approved, we will know. whether
Right,
it's-
and it is our intent to build walking trail access to the proposed preservation property from onto the annexation parcel, the 45-acre development.
And then that's for the people who own a house or live there.
Well, it would be for all of them, and again, Tim, it abuts 250 plus or minus homes in Dexter Crossing, and I think those people would have easy walking access as well.
Yeah, let me describe something that may help. So there are two public roads that stub to this property. Those public roads would be extended into the site. One is a public road, one is we'll call it emergency access pedestrian road only. It's basically past that emergency vehicles could run on. The roads in the 45 acres that are being proposed for annexation would have sidewalks, obviously the road surface, sidewalks on both sides. Those would go through the subdivision, and then there'd be pathways that would also be built because it's kind of an open space concept. Pathways through the open space on the 45 acres, and then these stubs that David's describing that would come from the sidewalk or path over to the preservation area. So public could traverse the public roads into this site, park along the public road, and then access the trail.
You have three potential pathways connections. One of them would be going on private property, which would not work. But you have three of them, is that correct? And two of them would go on to the property that you're proposing that we. Oh, no, I take that back. Never mind. I have this wrong. But you have three different access points. Is that right?
We had always, I guess, through the concept and working with Dave, thought that there would be a good spot to the north side of the site. There's a pipeline that runs through the property, right? That there would be a pathway up in that area and a couple of different connections down on the southern side of the site.
Other questions?
I want,
Yes, please, David.
the concept development of the proposed annexation parcel shows, I'm assuming it's the well that Dexter is so fond of, is in the northeast corner. Is that where the actual test well was drilled? Or is
That's
this
the
going to be
location of the
different?
well.
Sorry,
That's the location of the well
of the test well.
that's been studied, yeah.
Okay.
So to summarize, there is prospective access to this property, but as of now, there are no guarantees of access from any location. Is that right?
Be a true statement, I guess.
Yeah, there's no easement agreement or letter of intent.
Right. Good intentions.
Okay. Other questions? Thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Mrs.
taking the
Chair.
time to sit down here a little bit.
Thank you for juggling the agenda.
Sure. Any other public comments from you two who are here? Murphy?
Yes. Think you're not spot, thanks. Two, I wanted to propose something, for future land acquisitions that would become parks or preserves. I was wondering if part of the purchase agreement or just part of the fund, I don't totally know how your process works, could include not only a boundary survey that's staked, but also, so like boundary markers every 100 feet, because we're running into right now really a lot of uncertainty about where our boundaries and parks and preserves actually are. So maybe at the time of purchase, if the intent is to become a park or preserve, we could, at that time, when the survey is done, also have it marked every 100 feet, so we can then and there put up our Scio boundary markers. Just to save us from having to have it surveyed again later and incurring the cost twice. Just putting that out there as a thought.
Is that what we usually do? We don't usually mark a boundary when we have it at these parcels, like a park.
We mark the corners of the property or if there's a jog in a line, anything like that, but not, in particular referencing a part of the Five Oaks preserve that has a common boundary with a privately owned parcel. And it's a straight line. And the only 2 points that we have are the northeast corner and northwest corner, southwest corner on that. So there's nothing in between. Sometimes there's an old fence road that is often more or less on the line. I don't know if there is in this case. Sometimes it's long since disappeared also. But that's certainly something that we could do.
I guess it would just be if it's a shared property boundary, like with a homeowner.
Sure.
And you said how many feet would be?
100.
100 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just based on a recommendation from, it's like land manager book says that all of our property boundaries should be within sight distance of each other. So there's no question about where the line is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
This particular property is over 1,200 feet long. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, I tried to go out there with flags a couple days ago, but I would be like, okay, this is a line, there's a line, and there's a line, and you look down and they're all like this. So it's just really hard to do retroactively.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
I don't see why we can't do that. That seems,
Nice.
yeah.
Thanks.
Chris, any other public comments? Welcome, everyone is here. Chris, is there anyone online who has a hand raised?
We have Jan Culbertson.
Okay, Jan. Hi, Jan.
Jan?
Jan?
There we go. You have to, yeah, I have to
Hi.
be asked to unmute. Hi, everyone. Just wanted, I did not write a report. The only thing I wanted to say was thank you for the folks that were able to attend the Huron River Watershed Council's Green Infrastructure Workshop. We will be getting the presentation and the recording up on the ESTF website. And we expect to get, within probably a month or so, some mapping back from the, they're going to kind of collate all the mapping that we did, and we will be able to use that moving forward as we look at the open ordinance and possibly the updating the master plan. And we will definitely make sure LPC gets a copy of that.
Good deal. Thank you, Jan. It was a great workshop.
A lot of information.
A lot of information. Anyone else, Chris?
No other hands, that's it.
Okay.
Anyone else online?
No,
Besides Jan?
such, yeah, that's it.
Let's see. Now we are going to start with Barry's open session consult support and project updates.
Yes. So in terms of the bulleted items, if you will, there was a webinar recently for the federal ASAP program. The deadline coming up fast. It was a surprising amount of money available, $4 million. It's usually $1.2 million to $1.6 million. Surprised me. We don't have any properties to submit to it, but it was good news that the program will be continuing, at least for one more application round. In regards to RCPP, actually spoke with Susan LaCroix from Legacy today. And she said because of the government shutdown, everything got pushed back. And so we were hoping to get word on the appeal this month. Is actually going to be January, maybe even into early February. No indications about how that's going to go. But there's a new round of funding that's available for up to $10 million total. The one that we made the appeal on was almost $25 million. And I indicated that we're still interested in having some of those funds available to us.
Barry, how much did you say there was available this year?
The maximum award is $10 million per project. Previously it was $25 million. So we'd have to prorate our interest in that. I think we put in for $6 million. So we'll see how everybody, if we want to proceed with it. It seems like people do. And it seems like there's a lot of material that can be reused. So we don't have to start completely from scratch. But it won't be $6 million, I'll tell you that. But maybe we'll get a good, couple million chunk of it.
24% of that, if it were proportional.
Yeah. So Susan and I drove up to Lansing earlier today, and I testified before the House Agriculture Committee in support of the package of 6 bills to fix this PA 116 problem that we've run into. And it passed out of committee unanimously today. I'm happy to report. And it will go to the House for a vote next week, I think on Tuesday. There was one little tweak that had to be done. And that may or may not need to go back to the Senate, but it's basically almost done at this point, and will be hopefully signed into law by the governor before the end of the year. So that's a great relief for all of us who have been pursuing this now for 9 months more actively and having to deal with these issues for longer than that. So great news on that. I'll be really glad when it's over. The State Ag Preservation Board also had a meeting recently. There's a number of policy changes. They don't like to post the agenda or the materials until the day of the meeting, sometimes at the meeting. So I have the materials, but haven't had a chance to look through them yet. I think it's outrageous that they don't publish that stuff in advance, but.
Are they legally not required to do that?
It's a good question. I thought so. It's a public entity.
Yeah.
And it needs to be in Times Roman font.
Yes, please. But they did also, I believe, approve the application deadline for March 15th of next year. So we'll see if we have a property to submit for that.
And this would be, what is the grant process? What you use? Is that MDARD?
Yes. Yeah, it's an entity within MDARD, the Ag Preservation Fund Board.
And that's March 15th.
This 15th is the deadline for submitting applications to that.
And is that conservation easement only?
Yes, it's grant awards. So we have one for the Hicks property, which we'll discuss here in a moment.
Okay.
From that source. It's currently limited to $1.9 million. And MDARD agreed that they would be willing to pursue, but they're sitting on almost $8 million of unencumbered funds. And, properties don't get funded. And there's a limit through the budgeting process at the state, not a statutory issue, but nevertheless, they've limited how much they can make available, which is 1.9 million. So they've agreed to work with us to increase that cap in the next appropriations process. And then finally, I sent you all the flow chart that staff from the Ann Arbor Greenbelt program about the Blue Belt. So this is again covering the western third of the township. It's, primarily for properties that have a flowing water body running through it. There's also an interest in groundwater recharge areas, but there was only one section in Scio Township that met their criteria, and it's already basically developed, so it doesn't really apply. But if we have a property that has a flowing water body on it, some of them do, then we can apply for those funds. And I've already submitted one request for funds from that source. In regards to projects, I'll first mention that Fletcher and Lobato easements both closed since we last met. Everything went smoothly with those once we finally got there. And then on the Hicks property, the amendment to the purchase agreement to allow for an additional 3 months to close. We're scheduled to close by the end of this month, but because of the other reviews that are involved, that wasn't going to happen. So we got another 3 months for that. The federal program reviewed the conservation easement. There's a requirement of the state to be in the easement language that the feds have signed off on before. They objected to it this time, so we're working out some details on that. I don't think it's a big issue, but it's just slowing down the process. And we typically just breezed through that. And then there's a couple of things on the baseline to revise as well, some new requirements that they're putting on us. So again, nothing major there. So we're close to wrapping that up as well. It might be January, but certainly within the first quarter of next year. That's all for the open session.
How about if you summarize the closed session topics you're going to discuss?
So we have an update on a property that the board has approved a purchase of. Including funding partnerships. And would be recommending an appraisal of that property. We have another property that the County Natural Areas Committee had listed on their priority list for 2025. We have another property that we're in negotiations with the landowner about the value of the property. She provided me with some sales that she got from a realtor friend, and I forwarded those to the appraiser, and he said, yep, there's a couple of those that should be included. And so he's in the process of updating that appraisal. Another property that the township is purchasing with some funds from the LPC. The Baker Road property to finish scoring, and then a new application that we need to score as well. So there will be likely one action taken back in the open session. It's an appraisal recommendation. There could be something else, but certainly one.
Thanks, Barry. We will now move into closed session. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion and read our little paragraph here?
I move that we go into closed session for a discussion of pending property evaluations pursuant to section 15.268D of the Michigan Open Meeting Act, specifically to consider the purchase or lease of real property up to the time an option to purchase or lease that property is obtained.
Support. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are moving into closed session. Can I have a motion to go back into open session and support for that, please?
I motion that we go back into open session.
Support. All in favor? Okay, we are back in open session.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to recommend the expenditure of funds out of Fund 233, the Open Space Land Preservation Fund, for conservation easement, for an appraisal for property application 2025-3 for $500.
Support.
Support by Tim. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, that,
You could say fee simple appraisal.
That's good. Yeah, I started to stumble because my, anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Okay, and then I would also like to make a motion to recommend the expenditure of funds out of Fund 233, the Open Space Land Preservation Fund, for fee simple acquisition of, no, for a conservation easement
Correct.
appraisal for property application number 2025-5 for up to $4,000.
Support.
all in favor? Aye. Okay, that motion is approved as well. Maybe,
Thank you,
thank you so
Mary.
much.
Thank you.
Um,
Good holiday.
okay, we are ready to come on into our regular meeting. I was about to adjourn us.
No, we've got stuff to do.
Let's do a regular meeting. Then. Okay, we're on page 2 of our
You
regular
need to
meeting.
approve the closed session minutes.
Yes, let's go ahead and approve our closed session minutes. Is there a motion? I will make a motion to approve closed session minutes. Wiseman and Reed, are you second?
Support.
All in favor of approving the closed session minutes?
Aye.
Aye. All, any opposed? The minutes are approved. Okay, and we have actually voted on the matters, rising from our closed session already.
Make those two motions.
Yeah, we did those.
We did
just
that. I jumped the gun, so.
That's okay.
I was
We flip.
trying to get
flip it.
Barry out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So reports.
no, we just, those two votes that we just did.
Okay, so David had a report in the packet and you also have a report from Tuesday. Do you have anything to add from Tuesday?
No,
Okay.
no, Tuesday, Tuesday, yes, something, we approved the permanent positions for 2 natural area technicians. And so that, and their job description, so that makes it, there'll be a continuous service because the seasonal ends December 31st. But now she has permission to hire 2 permanent ones, so they can post the jobs and start interviewing. So hopefully that she can have the hiring of the 2 permanent very close to, if not in conjunction with, the end of the seasonal staff. So that would be, at least I would hope that she could do that. So.
That's good. That's all for you.
Yeah.
Well, also at the board meeting under the consent agenda, there was approval for a May 19th, I believe it was.
Oh, for what? Yes, I thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
We were trying to get Barry and the LPC together with the board to talk about what we just did. The whole process of selecting, grading the parcels. Now, what starts it? How do we know what parcel we're gonna conserve? And then what the process we go through before we actually take the parcel to the board. So they were hoping to do it in February, but Barry's not available in February. What we want to do is we want to have not a closed session, a work session that is dedicated to primarily this. It's not like a 10-minute or 15-minute presentation. The board wants to get into the details, into the weeds of what we do and how we do it. So it's going to be, I think it'll be the main subject of the work session. Starts at 6 o'clock. All of our board meetings in 2026 will now start at 6 o'clock. Hopefully we can be done before the next day.
I hope so too, because I'm not up for staying up.
But I think work sessions won't be like board sessions. Work sessions are information sharing is what I expect them to be.
And is there a date for that? Did you say?
I think it's May 19th.
May 19th?
Who is overseeing the meeting?
I'm sorry,
And
what's
is
the
there-
date?
It would be a board meeting. I mean, the board will be there.
Okay.
And hopefully as many of the LPC members will be there
Okay.
and Barry will.
Let me.
6 p.m. I'm looking at.
So is
6
the,
p.m.
is the idea to refine our criteria, or do you know what the purpose of the board is?
The purpose of the board is to understand how we do what we do.
Okay, Okay,
They may make changes. They may say, well, why do you do that? Why don't you do it this way? I don't know.
okay, okay,
But they want to know how we do what we do.
I got you.
Sure.
Okay.
Because, and the other reason, the other question I've been asked is there any rhyme or reason to the properties that we go after? Are we looking for contiguous pieces of property so that we can create a green belt? Are we looking for, properties that are only on the river? Are we, that type of thing? So, is it just random?
Okay,
Now, at one point in time, we had something called what was it called? The Manny Plan. Bruce Manny was one of the founding members of this, and he wanted to buy all the properties that surrounded Dexter to keep Dexter from,
expanding.
and we were that close,
Community
Really?
separators.
that close to getting the entire Sloan Kinsley.
Really?
Yeah, that
Wow.
close.
Wow.
But that was probably 16 years ago.
Wow.
So, so May 19th, did you?
So if you all will put that on your calendars,
May 19th,
that's down the
Tuesday.
road, but it would be really helpful, I think, to have a number of different voices from our group here. Because I imagine many board members will be coming. 'Cause
It would be a normal, not a regular board meeting, but I would expect all the board members to be there, just like it would be for a normal meeting, except it's a work session, so.
But is it an open public
Oh,
meeting?
it's open, it's public.
Okay,
Oh,
all
yeah,
right, gotcha. All right.
I think the difference between a work session and a board meeting, I don't think we'll make any decisions.
Oh, I see, okay,
Okay,
right, uh-huh. Okay, I hear you.
And that's at what, 6 o'clock, did you say?
6 o'clock. All of our meetings in January, in 2026 have been changed to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that'll be nice for you. Go to
So
bed
they
at
don't go
midnight.
We can order pizza, yeah. I'm sorry, Tim?
So they don't go so late.
Well,
Hopefully.
that only, yes.
The
That would
late
be-
ends earlier.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I was.
so is that good for the board report?
Think so.
Planning, I don't have anything for planning except, let me just do parks really quickly. David and I were both there yesterday, and he mentioned the 2 full-time people. There's a potential Eagle Scout project in Van Curler Preserve to build boardwalks, over some wet areas. We voted actually on renaming Arborist Grove. We recommended to the board Salamander Woods.
Look,
Oh,
can I make some comment on that?
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful name. That's great. Resounding Salamander Woods.
It was-
come up with it?
No,
Well,
it was Murphy's suggestion. I don't feel strongly anyways.
For salamanders?
Murphy has
says
retracted
the-
her position.
Probably after talking.
Okay, because she doesn't want, or Darrell has suggested we don't want to advertise the fact that there are salamanders.
Collectors.
Good
there's
point. Collector.
People will go out there and roll over logs and take
Go
them.
looking, yeah.
What do they get them for?
For what?
Salamanders.
What do they take them for?
Sell.
That's.
Select them.
To sell them.
No, well, no, it's just, when you have a species that you're trying to protect, I would not advertise. its
No,
presence.
true.
Does it need a name?
Yeah,
Apparently, well.
I think it should be NOIX, number 9, like Novi is number 6. No, I put out a suggestion of the Woodlands Preserve, but Legacy has a Woodlands Preserve, but it's in Webster Township. So, and it's a preserve that can't be touched. They don't do any work, they don't do any restoration, there's no trails, nothing. It's just left to, basically to rot, if you will, because, it's just infested with crap. But that's what the owner wanted. So that's called Woodland Preserve. Now, we have to come up with another name.
I like what General said. I think that's really important. We don't want to advertise.
No,
necessarily.
so we're not going
So
forward.
you're not going to do that.
We're not going
Okay,
forward with
so
that.
there's no
No name at the moment.
name for Arborist Grove.
It's
And Marshall
Preserve
Park.
number 9. So
Yeah, a Marshall Park, the recommended name that we voted on was Red Cedar Park. So that's the one right up here by Township.
that's because
So
the
there's
Marshall.
a red cedar in there.
A red
There are a bunch of red cedars there.
We're not,
Yeah, maybe, at least one. I don't know.
can't advertise.
I looked as I was driving by, I said, oh yeah, there are a bunch of red cedars.
Yeah,
So it's, I
nice
think it'd be
name.
with an S, Red Cedars. and cedars, so.
They do
No.
property, so
I'm
in
sorry.
20 years, it could be a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and that will be that's my parks report. I'm just for planning, and I just wanted to mention, and Jan spoke at our public comment, but there are these super cool bins right out back here. She has started a, food waste recycling program that you all may know about. So there's this, and Chris has this great video on the township website showing how to do it.
So
But-
easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. So right now you can't bury your stuff in the backyard because the ground is frozen. So what you do is you drive it over here and you open that gray sort of bin over here, and there are two sort of trash can looking things. And you dump your food waste in there.
Wow.
And it is great. And you just take it out, a big bowl and just dump it in there.
Bones and all.
Everything, yeah.
Bones?
And also they take,
Yeah, so they'll make it to a biodigester.
it's a commercial composting
Oh, yeah.
facility. So you can bring,
Yeah, no animal. Normally they say no animal.
Oh, no,
no,
they
you
said.
really, all of
The
that.
skin, everything goes in.
It's everything. And it's also those things that say on them, compostable in commercial composting facility, that type of container. You just throw it in there. Okay, so I just want to mention that because I am very excited about it myself. And I've used it several times. So.
I have this thought, okay. Never mind, I won't do it.
So just check it out. It's back there. Everyone's food is in there.
Did you know that? Don't, because.
I'm sorry, say again?
That wasn't at the last meeting, but
No,
before
Jen,
that,
Jen,
it's
Jen.
just.
When she was explaining it, she said,
Yeah.
anything not metal and paper, but any food material can be dumped in there.
It's if you go on the website, you can read exactly what's allowed.
Okay.
You can't put yard waste in there, for example, but
No grass.
yeah.
I believe we have a sign right there, what we've got one in here, so if that sign may designate what we can put in those bins.
No bodies.
Yeah.
I have to laugh because there's composting that they do like with dead pigs and stuff that literally destroys everything. And
Grease,
So-
meat and bones.
yeah, so someone was talking about this and one of the member of the audience says, oh, you mean I can dispose of a dead body that way?
Good to know.
No bodies allowed.
Yeah, containers back there. Check it out, really.
Usually
Really.
there are containers that you can
Oh,
use.
no, I just brought mine in a bowl.
Okay,
But there are
I think
digestible
I think
bags.
you purchase it
Okay,
and
I
you go
see.
to Myers, get it there.
I see.
I wanted to
Let me
mention,
just say
yes.
that Jan spearheaded.
She sure did. She really did.
But there were two other members of environmental sustainability. Group that put a lot of energy
Yeah.
into it.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. Who?
Charlie is
Nielsen?
one
Charlie Nielsen?
put in the most energy. More than.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. It's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, Jan's
Yeah.
to take nothing away from her. She's just, tireless in what she does. I'll.
Okay, well, thank you, Tim. The other thing I wanted to mention is, where did I put mine? Here.
The workshop.
Oh, yeah, the
You're right.
Cherry River Watershed Council workshop, and I put the maps in there.
So
So
they're
it was,
interesting, yeah.
it was super cool. So what they're gonna do, they've got the watershed map, and then they're gonna map it. They had us all get markers and draw on the map, I think, to identify little patches of woods here and there that the satellite imagery maybe doesn't show. So I wasn't quite sure what the purpose of that was, honestly. But I think they're gonna superimpose the watershed map over our protected properties map and give the
that's perfect.
planning commission a comprehensive map showing little parcels that we can protect or that we can, I don't know. What I took from it was the connectivity was the important thing. Having a place for water to flow from one area of the watershed to another.
to
So anyway,
protect the quality of our
Yes,
water.
yes.
For the future.
And so I am no expert, but it was very interesting and planning, and I think there will be a report to board or to planning. or
I think so.
something
Well, they're gonna,
Coming up.
yeah, I think she said she'd come to the board, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to mention that.
And just to finish off that, the two people are Charlie Nielsen
Uh-huh.
and Jeff Jackson.
Oh, good.
Do you
Good
know
to
Charlie? Yeah, he was a board member.
He was a supervisor.
Yeah.
In 2004.
Jeff Jackson in particular put a lot of energy into this.
Good deal. Okay. Okay, and that's all that I have for reports. And now going on to old business. Daryl, will you give us a?
Yeah, so on the financial statements, we have October's. There are at least two entries that have not been shown in this report. You'll note that the interest earnings are down at $2,700. I'm not sure why it's so low like that. It should be much higher. I also, in the process of working on our budget for next year, I took a look at I was trying to calculate what I should be budgeting for interest incomes and making an approximation. And when I started to look at our past interest income numbers, they seemed low to me.
They were.
No, I mean, literally even this last summer, since Ryan. And so I called up Ryan and he took a look at him and he says, yeah. So they're probably, they're coming in about 2%, two something percent. They should be at either 3.7 or 3.45. It was 3.7 up until September. It's dropped to 3.45 and it may drop down again with the new Fed rates, but we're not up there. So this is something that Ryan and Nikki will look into. Maybe not instantly because they are in the middle of budgeting, which is very time consuming. But probably early next year, I'll work with Ryan and Nikki and make sure that we review our interest income for this last year and get it adjusted accordingly.
Was the beginning of last year low income, low interest?
Oh, yeah, that was before Ryan came on board and renegotiated some arrangement with the banks.
So is that
Get-
the average that you're talking about?
No, I was looking at the monthly. I was looking at a monthly calculation. I thought, oh, that's too low for that month. What I do is I look at the beginning balance and the ending balance. I take an average and multiply that times 3.7%. And I'm going, whoa, this is not high enough. So they will, and Ryan did the same thing and he's going, yeah, there's something off on this. So they will visit it and look at it next year.
Previous administration of interest rate for.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for catching it. That's important
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and even for this month, it's even, I mean, like last month, the interest income was 6,000. This month it's 2,700, so even this month's really way off, and we don't know why. Or I say this month, October. We always get our statements about a month and a half afterwards. But also the cost allocation number has not been dropped in on this, but other than that, I think it looks okay.
Questions for Daryl?
Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Any notes on federal grant funding? I think we're.
No,
we
I'm
don't
very
have
sorry.
anything to add there. Our next meeting is January 8th. Anyone know that they will not be here?
I know what.
Okay, Tim won't be here, okay. All the rest of you think you will, and I know Janine is gonna be here. She
She did.
swore to me that she was gonna be here. So she will be taking notes, yeah. Okay, good deal. Have fun skiing.
Who's going skiing?
I don't know, I just made that up.
Oh.
Okay, is there any new business that,
I was gonna bring up the meeting in new business, but we already talked about that, so we're good.
yeah, okay. We are ready for public comments and there's no one here.
Anybody
Chris,
online?
anyone listening?
Nobody online.
Nobody online either.
Yeah, so.
Okay,
Must
well,
be doing it right.
we must.
Nobody's
And today,
nobody's watching us. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
this document, double page or double-sided, 22 pages long, is a proposed new tree ordinance.
Will you speak to that really quickly?
The current tree ordinance, I think it's only 3 pages. It's not that big a deal. But the neighboring township, I'm not sure if it was Canton or one of the townships, was sued by a developer or by a property owner because they had a township ordinance similar to ours, where the person was being basically, for all intents and purposes, fined for cutting down trees and not replanting them. That's what the tree fund was. It's a collection of money from the developers. I guess it's easier for them to write a check than to plant trees. So, and at the time, as of last month, we had $400,000 in the tree fund, and that's all gone. Well, it's not all gone. About 285 is still there because Murphy has capital improvement plan for this year and next year and so they accounted for that. So they left that money in there. So we've got money for her next 2 years of treatment. And it's recorded and it's recognized that according to the board will fund out of the general fund any tree plants that she brings forward in the future. So but in the meantime, the attorney who lost the case has written a new ordinance and this one is for where is it? Canton. This is for Canton Township. And it's 22 pages long. And I don't think you can, a developer can't look at a tree without having to do something. So it's pretty comprehensive. So Mariah sent this to me because I had made modifications to ours and sent it to her. Because we don't even account for non-native trees. We are just allowed to cut down without any ramifications. But they sequester carbon, they create oxygen, they create shade, they create, so they're not worth as much as a native, but they should be worth something. So, and this one does not account for non-native trees, so we'll have to make changes to that, but.
But
So-
it does account for trees of different sizes, right?
Yes.
So the little ones versus the big giant
Yeah.
ones and the middle sized
Yes.
ones.
Right.
So that's what we don't have currently in our.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just-
Ours is very limited in
Ah.
scope.
It's just, what they do is you have to plant a 2-inch tree for every X number of inches that you are not replacing. So if you're replacing a 63-inch tree, you replace, it's very,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's not good. Let's put
Well,
it,
so Matt, when we ran into this issue with the arborist property,
yes.
was the tree ordinance part of the reason why that development was turned down? And was that part of what exposed us to a
Well,
problem?
it was turned down, number one, I think one of the issues was the clear cutting of that piece of property. Regardless of the tree, regardless of the tree fund, regardless of them writing a check, that property is virtually going to be virtually clear cut. And that's, I think, 400 or 500 trees we're going to be removed. That's number one. Number two, there are several ponds out there that I don't know how they were in, but if you look at the proposed development, there are houses that were going to be built on what appeared to be wet. Number two. Number three, they had a drain. For some reason, the neighboring development somehow got roped into allowing them to drain the property onto their property, into their retention pond. I don't know how, because that all has been going on before I was on the board. So there were a lot of reasons, not the least of which is the clear cutting of the property. So, and I think, well, they were going to put in the number of homes that they were allowed to put in based on the zoning. So I think it was going to be 34, some number of homes, I forget, but and that was what the zoning allowed.
Without reference to wetlands or anything else.
Right.
So by strengthening our tree ordinance, it will help to minimize exposure for
Yes, and
Minimize what?
exposure to liability.
yeah, our tree ordinance was similar to Canton's. Canton lost the case, so that rang some bells in certainly Mariah's head. that we better take a look at ours.
Yes.
And this lady is the lady who lost, like, the woman who wrote this is the woman who lost the case. So she made sure that
She
what-
covered her base.
she covered her bases.
Yeah.
So
And so the status of that is Mariah has it. It hasn't gone to the board
I
yet,
haven't gone to the board yet.
Okay.
no.
but maybe early next year. or
Yes.
Okay, all right, good
So
deal.
we still have a tree
That's good.
ordinance.
Yeah.
No one sued us on it. Well, technically, no one has sued us on the tree ordinance. They sued us on the fact that we
Yeah,
burned
okay.
it down.
Okay. And just real quick on old business,
Yes.
Buy Protect Sell Committee, we did meet, we're working on the application format, for the program, and I assume probably the four of us need to get together in the next month to continue that process.
And Lisa, the Google Doc you put on, I think what Daryl just circulated, I think yesterday or yesterday or so,
Ninth.
pretty much.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it's fine.
Because I've been meaning to go on there and do something, and then I read this and I said, wait a minute, this is, so.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I did mine in Word
Mhm.
because I wasn't sure how to go on to the Google and start adding all that stuff to it.
Yeah, it's just in Google Docs and then somebody can open it and make any, I mean, I can see some, as a copywriter, some minor tweaks, but nothing.
Yeah.
Earth shattering.
Okay, all right.
And so should I check back with you all before putting that on the January agenda, or do you plan to have some update?
I think it could probably be on the agenda.
Yeah, it'd be nice if, I know it's Christmas time, but maybe, or maybe because it is Christmas.
What
we
is it,
should-
the 9th is our next meeting, that's.
Because it'd be nice, I think in one more meeting for what we would like to achieve, we could probably get it done, don't you think? And then we could bring stuff to the,
So before the 8th, you think you can do?
I think, I don't know.
It doesn't, it's not a big deal. I'll ask you again.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean,
We
it's
would
hard to
maybe
do over the
December,
holidays,
it's
yeah.
more- Yeah,
That's kind
that's
of
why I'm
rough.
thinking maybe
It's not a
February.
huge rush
Yeah,
either.
let's do February.
Okay, yep, I think that's good.
I won't be back.
Yeah, let's
15th.
do
Well, that's another
February
reason.
because it's the holidays and it's too crazy.
Anything else for today? Okay.
Yeah, I, I'd like to, move to adjourn. Noting that it's after 6.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Our
We're
job.
flexible. I know. we were.
Thank you.
And may I have a second?
I did.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
was there any time in there where we're supposed to take a vote by hand? I mean, each